Disclaimer: my intention is not to scare anyone. All the events mentioned in the video are described in the Bible. While most people know the Bible for its spiritual guidance and moral teachings, but it also contains numerous passages and stories that are eerie, terrifying, and unsettling. Let's explore the terrifying events that happened in the past and those prophesied to occur in the future. Be aware, because the future events are quite terrifying, to be honest, and they have already started to unfold. The 10 Plagues of Egypt. In the book of Exodus, God unleashes 10 devastating plagues upon Egypt to compel Pharaoh to release the Israelites from slavery. These plagues include water turning to blood. This devastating plague struck at the heart of Egyptian life. The Nile River, their source of water for drinking, irrigation, and religious ceremonies, turned to blood. Fish died, the water became foul-smelling and unusable. Egyptians were forced to dig desperate wells or seek water elsewhere, but even stored water reportedly turned to blood. This disruption to their most basic needs sent a powerful message. Plague of frogs. The Egyptians worshipped the Nile as a source of life. Now, it became a breeding ground for a plague of frogs. These amphibians swarmed from the river, filling homes, streets, and even palaces. Imagine the chaos and disgust as Egyptians tried to escape the slimy creatures. This plague not only disrupted daily life but also challenged their beliefs in the power of their own gods. Plague of gnats or lice. Dust transformed into tiny biting or lice, infesting both humans and animals. These insects caused constant irritation and itching, making sleep and daily activities unbearable. This plague further emphasized the power of the god over the natural world, as Pharaoh's magicians could not replicate it. Plague of flies. Swarms of flies descended upon Egypt, attracted to the decaying bodies of the frogs from the previous plague. These flies plagued Egyptians both indoors and outdoors, making it impossible to escape the buzzing and the spread of disease. This further crippled the nation and demonstrated the consequences of Pharaoh's defiance. Plague on livestock. A deadly disease struck Egyptian livestock, including cattle, sheep, horses, and camels. These animals were vital for their economy and transportation. Watching their animals suffer and die was a severe blow to the Egyptians and a display of God's power over life and death. Plague of boils. Painful boils erupted on the bodies of Egyptians and their animals. This indiscriminate plague made daily life agonizing and disrupted even basic tasks. Egyptians, including Pharaoh himself, were not spared, highlighting the pervasiveness of God's wrath. Plague of hail. A violent storm of hail, unlike any seen before, devastated Egypt. Large hailstones destroyed crops, killed livestock, and even harmed people caught outdoors, targeted the agricultural heart of Egypt and threatened their future food supply. Plague of locusts. After the hail, swarms of locusts descended upon Egypt, consuming any remaining vegetation. These ravenous insects left a path of complete destruction, leaving the Egyptians desperate and facing famine. Plague of darkness. An unnatural darkness engulfed Egypt for 3 days. This terrifying plague plunged the land into an inky blackness, isolating people and preventing them from even seeing each other. Imagine the fear and helplessness this caused, highlighting the absolute power of the god. Death of the firstborn. The final and most devastating plague struck the heart of every Egyptian household. The firstborn son of every family, human and animal, died. This included Pharaoh's own son. This plague directly challenged the Egyptian belief system, as the firstborn were considered sacred. It also served as a powerful motivator, finally forcing Pharaoh to release the Israelites. This is another story of what happens when we try to play God or mock his power. The Tower of Babel. In Genesis, after the flood, humanity speaks a single language and migrates eastward. People decide to build a great city and a tower with its top in the heavens. This could be interpreted as a desire for fame, a monument to human achievement, or even a way to reach God's dwelling place. God sees their project and perceives it as a sign of human arrogance, a challenge to his authority. God decides to confound their language. This results in people no longer understanding each other, leading to confusion and the inability to cooperate on the tower's construction. Unable to communicate effectively, people abandon the project and scattered from there over all the earth. So now let's move to the real terrifying things that going to happen in future. I have not listed these events in chronological order. The book of Revelation describes the 7 trumpets as a series of escalating judgments heralding the end times. Each trumpet blast unleashes a specific catastrophe, growing progressively worse. Here's a breakdown of all 7. First trumpet. Hail and fire mixed with blood rain down. burning a third of the earth's trees and all the green grass. This signifies devastation and environmental destruction. Second trumpet, a large burning mountain is thrown into the sea, polluting a third of the waters and killing a third of sea life. This symbolizes ecological disaster and the disruption of vital resources. Third trumpet, a flaming star, called wormwood, falls from the sky and poisons a third of the earth's freshwater sources. This signifies widespread thirst, sickness, and death due to contaminated water. Fourth trumpet, a celestial event darkens a third of the sun, moon, and stars, disrupting day and night cycles. This symbolizes chaos, confusion, and the disruption of natural order. Fifth trumpet, a bottomless pit is opened, unleashing a plague of locusts with the power to torment humanity for 5 months. These locusts are described as having a human-like appearance, adding to the horror. Sixth trumpet, for angels bound at the Euphrates River are released, unleashing a powerful army that brings immense suffering and death. This symbolizes war, societal collapse, and the rise of destructive forces. To heighten the fear, if you search for the Euphrates River, you'll find that it's already started to dry up, and it's happening faster than ever. Seventh trumpet, this final trumpet marks a significant turning point. It signifies the coming of God's kingdom and the ultimate judgment. There are descriptions of thunder, lightning, and an earthquake, symbolizing immense power and change. It's important to note that interpretations of the seven trumpets vary. Some view them as literal events, while others see them as symbolic representations of various forms of suffering and upheaval throughout history. The vision of the four beasts. In the book of Daniel, the prophet has a vision of 4 terrifying beasts emerging from the sea, each representing a kingdom that will rise and fall before God's final judgment. First beast, lion with eagle's wings, represents a powerful empire, likely the Babylonian Empire, known for its swiftness and dominance. The eagle's wings symbolize its vast reach and power. Second beast, bear, represents the Medo-Persian Empire, which conquered Babylon. The bear is described as devouring flesh, signifying its aggressive nature. Third beast, leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads, represents Alexander the Great's swift and powerful Greek Empire. The 4 wings symbolize its rapid expansion, and the 4 heads may represent the different kingdoms that emerged after Alexander's death. Fourth beast, dreadful and terrible beast, represents a formidable and destructive power, often interpreted as either the Roman Empire or a future kingdom of great tyranny. I'm not sure. The beast and the false prophet. The beast, often depicted as a monstrous creature with multiple heads and horns, symbolizing immense power and authority, represents a tyrannical ruler or oppressive system that will emerge during the apocalypse. May be interpreted as a specific political leader or a more general symbol of evil empires. The false prophet appears alongside the beast, acting as a mouthpiece to deceive and manipulate people. May use miracles or charismatic leadership to gain followers and promote the worship of the beast. Represents false prophets or misleading religious figures who distort the truth and lead people astray. Together, the beast and the false prophet form a powerful duo that deceives and controls humanity during a time of great tribulation. They are seen as enemies of God and his followers, working to establish a reign of evil before the ultimate victory of good. The lake of fire, a place of eternal torment for the wicked. The lake of fire is a terrifying concept from the book of Revelation, often depicted as a place of eternal suffering for those who are not redeemed by God. The Bible uses symbolic language to describe the lake of fire. It's often referred to a place of intense heat and suffering. The lake of fire is seen as the ultimate punishment for those who reject God and his teachings. It represents eternal separation from God's love and grace. The concept of the lake of fire is a powerful reminder of the consequences of sin and the importance of following God's will. It serves as a warning and a motivator for believers to stay on the righteous path. Well, my friends, this is just a glimpse. I haven't even gone into the details. If you read the book of Revelation, it's almost like reading a horror story. So, give it a try. If you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe to my channel.